One Zambia, one nation. Welcome to Zanis News. With me, Trust Pemba. The headlines. President Hichilema praises Charles. Delegates convene in Lusaka for Digital Africa Summit. First Lady challenges parents to guide youth in sexual reproductive health. And all is set for COSAFA Women's Football Tournament in South Africa. Zanis News in detail. President Hakainde Hichilema has thanked the church leaders from the 17 church mother bodies under the Church Health Association Zambia CHAZ for being proactive in the decentralization process. Zanis reports that President Hichilema observed that even with differences in theology and doctrine backgrounds, the church has continued to unite to complement government strides in the provision of primary health care, especially in rural areas. The head of state said this in a speech read for him by Minister of Health Sylvia Masebo during the official opening of the 46th CHAZ General Council in Lusaka today. CHAZ Executive Director Karen Sichinga praised the government for its continued collaboration with other stakeholders in improving the healthcare system in the country. And CHAZ Board Chairperson Father Justin Matepa also commended government for the strengthened relationship existing between CHAZ and government.
It is gratifying to see that the Church has taken a proactive approach to jointly reflect on how it will work with the government in ensuring that the process of decentralization in the health sector yields tangible benefits. Identifying the opportunities as well as challenges is a balanced way to ensure that measures are put in place to counter potential challenges, as well as capitalize and build on opportunities. This is in stark contrast to some groups who continue to resist decentralization under the guise that this change will increase fiduciary risks as well as fail because of the inadequate capacities that exist at subnational level. The UPND government prides itself on being methodical in all that it does. The decentralization agenda is not an exception. We have decided to devolve functions and the resources associated with these functions.
Decentralization is one of the most significant changes which will take place in the health sector. It is indeed to increase service delivery points, autonomy, decision-making, analysis, result ownership, and stewardship. This change, like many other reforms that happen in healthcare, needs for us as partners to adapt, because it will not be business as usual. Allow me now, Honourable Minister, to just propose to our members, the CHAZ family, ways in which we can respond to the change. 1, CHAZ member institutions, we who are seated here, will need to engage with both the Minister of Health and the Minister of Local Government.
In Lusaka province, delegates from both African continent and beyond have convened in the capital city to attend the first ever Digital Government African Summit. Zanis staffer Jane Simalumba reports that the summit is aimed at providing an opportunity for African governments to discuss solutions that will help unlock the digital technology space for Africa. More in the following report.
Different countries from both the African continent and beyond have today gathered in Lusaka to attend the 2023 Digital Government African Summit. The summit, which will run from the 4th to the 6th of October 2023, is the first ministerial e-government summit to be held on the African continent. The aim of this summit is to provide a platform for sharing experiences and best practices in the development and implementation of the digital government system across the continent. Smart Zambia National Coordinator Percy Chinyama says Boma Chat, a new platform for civil servants to share information, will soon be launched.
It's a product that is meant for civil servants. It will change the game in terms of the restrictions, the bureaucracies, and those limitations that are traditional in the civil service, in governments. So I want you to imagine your WhatsApp, a calendar, email, and the HR system, including a bank, all merged to become one.
Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security, Jack Mwimbo, has since called on participants to develop and foster common strategies that will help unlock the challenges faced in the digital world.
I wish to implore this August gathering to come up with concrete resolutions that will ensure digitalization of government operations resolves the real issues affecting our people across the continent, such as escalating global food shortages, high levels of crimes, smuggling of food, human trafficking, theft along major transport corridors, limited trade amongst African countries, integration of refugees into hosting countries' economies.
Minister of Technology and Science Felix Mutati said a number of topics in line with the digital transformation have been lined up, including Zambia's approach to digital transformation.
Our mantra is that for our citizens, what matters is what we call the 3 A's. What matters is the service accessible? 2, is the service available? And 3, is the service affordable?
A digital government infrastructure panel discussion was held where ministers from different African countries had a question and answer session.
We're implementing the e-Transform project, which is a World Bank funded project in Ghana. And one of the key issues that we've had to deal with, like we've all mentioned, is digital infrastructure.
The theme for this year's Digital Government African Summit is Transforming Governments for Digital Age. Jane Simalumba Zanis in Lusaka.
Vice President Mutalena Lumango has praised the Flying Eye Hospital, which arrived in the country from United States of America to provide eye care training. Ms. Nalumango says the presence of the hospital will eradicate preventable causes of impaired vision and blindness in the country. Wupesendwe has the details.
Human resource for eye health is as critical in addressing the issues of vision impairment. Zambia has only about 50 eye doctors, thereby failing to meet the World Health Organization recommended standard of 1 eye doctor per 250,000 people. However, the coming of the Flying Eye Hospital to train local health staff and provide eye care to communities is a step in the right direction. Government has since welcomed Obi's Flying Eye Hospital to operate in the country.
Eye care team accompanying the Flying Eye Hospital. You have clearly made a sincere effort to improve our society by coming here to share your knowledge and expertise with us. The government of the Republic of Zambia, under the leadership of Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, President of the Republic of Zambia, is delighted to be associated with this project, as we all know that the eye are not only sensitive but essential organs in the human body.
The Ministry of Health praised Obis for supplementing government efforts in the provision of health services.
Our partnership with Obis Zambia presents a shared mission, a mission where every person in this nation should see better and have access to adequate eye care services. The collaboration is not a mere gesture of goodwill, but a deliberate move for a better healthcare system.
Obi's Flying Eye Hospital says it is eager to create an impact in eye health in Zambia.
The health of Zambia's eyes can be significantly improved by education and outreach because prevention is just as important as treatment. And this is what we do, starting from the ground up.
During this FEH project, approximately 80 passionate and dedicated eye care professionals from across Zambia are improving their professional skills. These eye care professionals include ophthalmologists, anesthesiologists, nurses and biomedical engineers.
And the University Teaching Hospital is happy that the training will bridge the human resource gap in eye health.
Our partnership with Orbis deserves to be commended because its main focus on training is helping our nation bridge this human resource gap by not only increasing the number of ophthalmologists trained, but by also enhancing the quality of the training.
Wupesendo for Zanis News in Lusaka.
Meanwhile, First Lady Muthinta Hichilema has called on parents to guide the youths in sexual reproductive health-related issues. Ms. Hichilema says despite the significant progress the group has made in preventing HIV and AIDS new infections, the youth still lack knowledge on prevention, treatment, and care programs that are critical to lowering the infection rates. She said this in Lusaka today during a 3-day international workshop on HIV and adolescence.
Youths have been urged to play a key role in the ambitious target of ending the HIV pandemic by 2030. It is for this reason First Lady Muthinta Hichilema has called on parents to take an active role in educating their children on matters of sexual reproductive health. Mrs. Hichilema said during an international workshop on HIV and adolescence being held in Lusaka that youth still lack knowledge on programs that are critical in lowering infection rates.
Significant global progress has been made in preventing new HIV infections over the past 2 decades. However, our youth lack knowledge on prevention, treatment, and care programs, which is critical in lowering the infection rates. As a mother, I deeply understand the cultural barriers that hinder our youth in seeking guidance on sexual reproductive health from their parents. It is our duty as parents to guide our children in matters of life to prevent them from seeking alternative information that will misguide them.
Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary for Administration, Christopher Simonga, says the ministry is working to ensure that adolescents' health programs are implemented in all districts to galvanize adolescents in the fight against HIV.
The Ministry of Health will take adolescents' health to the district and sub-district levels to ensure all adolescents are involved in this crusade of knowing their HIV status and how best to prevent new infections.
International Workshop on HIV and Adolescents chairpersons are optimistic that the workshop will draw youths to share their experiences.
Adolescents, we have to bring them back to the center of our response. It's no longer about the targets that we have to reach, but about individual health outcomes. So we have to really look and try and keep adolescents at the center of our programming.
We're going to be learning together from the latest research and also implementation understanding about how we can do things differently for adolescents.
In this year's conference, we have a youth-only led session, which provides an opportunity for young people to share the tremendous work they have been doing in the advocacy space.
The international workshop is being held under the theme Out of the Box, Sexual Reproductive Health and HIV Innovations for, with, and by adolescents. Reporting for Zanis in Lusaka, Sharon Walia.
Welcome back. Copperbelt Province Minister Elisha Matambo has confirmed that works on the 2.5-kilometer of the Ndola-Lusaka dual carriageway, which commenced in Ndola, is progressing well. Mr. Matambo has also restated that the road is key to the economic growth of the country. Here are the details.
The construction works of the HV Golf Road in Luansha's Central Business District, whose works had stalled for 3 months, have resumed. Luansha Mayor Charles Mlenga explains the challenges that led to the stoppage of the works.
We cancel the process itself. We cancel the process. And according to the procurement procedures, we cancel the process and you have to re-advertise. And that has to take another 30 days. And we could not jump that process.
The contractor J-AIM and J-Tradings highlights the scope of works.
To draw the lines, then from there we're going to procure the papers to do the paving. That will take like this project is valid for 3 months, meaning 12 weeks, but we're trying to do as much as possible before that to avoid the rains. So
Copperbelt Minister Elisha Matambo, who broke the ground for the construction works, was in the district to inspect the progress. The minister wants to see quality works.
Quality. One, I've talked about cost. Second, quality. Number 2, time of delivery. And I'm very strict with that. Just know that if you are able to work even in the night, you should work. We are in a hurry to try and fix the road network. On the Copperbelt was given a road deal.
The construction works are expected to be completed before the end of November. Karen Mshenywa, Zanis, Luansha District.
We go to Western Province, where government has completed the construction and has handed over Agape Community School to the people of Nkeyama Ward in Nkeyama District of Western Province. More in the following report.
Western Province Minister, who is also Member of Parliament for Nkeyama constituency, Kapelo Mbangweta, has expressed great anticipation for dozens of CDF projects expected to be completed in Nkeyama by 2026. This move underscores government's dedication to enhancing the lives of the people through the increased Constituency Development Fund allocation from 28.3 million to an impressive 30.6 million kwacha.
We are glad that you have come to receive part of the promises that were made by the President of the Republic of Zambia. This school here received desks before. Those desks there. The position by government is that a school like this one must have running water, flushable toilets. How many projects are we going to do at 30.6 million? So it means that by 2026, we would have done more than 100 projects in this place here.
Local authorities share their perspective on this significant achievement.
Honorable Minister, today we are so grateful that we are handing over Agape Community School. Within some few months from now, we are going to receive computers in this school. Our children need to merge with the world which is developing.
We are handing over today the 10th project. I want to also mention to you that there are more projects which are complete waiting for handover.
Pupils at Agape Community School are bubbling with excitement about their brand new facility.
It means that from now on we will enjoy quality education and good learning environment to make our dream be a reality. We thank the President, Mr. Hakande Chirema, and you, our MP, for what you have done for us.
Philip Jerry, reporting for Zanis, Nkeyama District, Western Province.
Copperbelt Province Minister Elisha Matambo has warned smugglers of maize that the security wings have intensified patrols in border areas with Democratic Republic of Congo DRC to curb the vice which said threatens the food security of the country. Here are the details.
Copperbelt Province has decided to reinforce security in border areas to avoid the rampant smuggling of meal, which is the country's staple food. Copperbelt Province Minister Elisha Matambo, who briefed the press at his office in Ndola, does not want a repeat of the rampant smuggling of meal in border areas, as was witnessed at the beginning of this year.
To sound a warning to the smugglers. I think they thought maybe we got relaxed and they have continued with their activities. And I think this time around, the place which is very much affected is Mofrila, going through Mokambo. We have information that there are trucks which have been passing through using other routes going to DRC, especially in Mokambo. The other place is Launch, this side, the other border in the Launch. So we have decided to reinforce the security in these places.
The minister also appealed for cooperation from members of the public in border areas to be alert of suspicious people trading in meal.
And I want to appeal to the members of the public, just like we've been working together, to be alert of the activities which are going on where they live. If they see someone with a meal being loaded or being some I hear they're hiding places like garages, some are hiding their houses. So I want the members of the public, especially in Mufrira, especially in Chirabombwe, places like Sakanya, places like the Chiwala area, to be alert.
Meanwhile, Copperbelt Province Permanent Secretary Augustine Kasongo has announced that the province has already received the farming inputs for this year's farming season.
Expect as a province to receive 93 beneficiaries, 93,688 beneficiaries will benefit from the compound, and the expected allocation for the province is 14,053. These are metric tons, and so far as the province we have 80.3% of the compound has been delivered.
However, the intensification of patrols in border areas will help in safeguarding the country's staple food and avoid the artificial shortage of the commodity. Tovini Ngombe, Zanis, Ndola.
Chief Nyampande of the Nsenga people of Lusangazi district in Eastern Province has challenged its subjects to take advantage of the many opportunities that the government has unveiled to the community, such as the Constituency Development Fund, CDF. More in the following report by Lubasi Mutafela.
The place is Nyampande in Lusangazi district of Eastern Province. The people are gathered not for anything else, but to witness and be beneficiaries of the good news about the fruits of the social and economic empowerment from the much talked about Constituency Development Fund. Chief Nyampande is also present here to provide leadership to his subjects and witness the disbursement of over 2 million kwacha empowerment funds from the CDF.
2,132,360 kwacha in an area like Lusangazi should make a difference. We should see businesses, we should see employment, we should see many other economic opportunities. Osati kuti tikazowera pavuli kuti tione kuti pitako 2 million poone kapalie chala chumvusha nsoni.
Here, Eastern Province Minister Peter Piri, flanked by Permanent Secretary Paul Tole, has officiated.
As government, we remain committed in strengthening the Constituency Development Fund and ensuring that it continues to serve as a catalyst for development at the grassroots level. We will work tirelessly to address any challenge that arise and enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of the fund. Your feedback and suggestions are crucial in this pursuit, and we encourage ongoing dialogue and collaboration among stakeholders.
Musanzala Member of Parliament Elias Daka was also present.
We are delighted to be with you here so that you see part of that cake that is being shared in Lusaka, that here we are utilizing it in this prudent manner. And it's not only here where we are going to witness this, you'll be privileged to see what we have used this money for, to construct and rehabilitate schools in my constituency. And this, you even deliver the message to His Excellency the President that the money here in Msanzara constituency, we are utilizing it to the fullest.
Later, the minister commissioned new classroom blocks at 3 schools and flagged off the disbursement of 1,000 desks to schools in Lusangazi district. Lobas Mtafela, Zanis, Lusangazi district, Eastern Province.
And in Muchinga Province, the beneficiaries of Constituency Development Fund, CDF grants and loans in Impika and Lafushimanda district have thanked the government for the empowerment. Forward Group, a woman cooperative, has since multiplied the 13,000 they were given to 84,000 kwacha. Details in the foreign report.
Across districts in Muchinga Province, CDF empowerment funds under grants and loans are being put to good use. Government is getting value for money through the various projects being implemented by beneficiaries under CDF. In Lavushmanda district, the women under the Forward Savings Group had no means of income but have now started a savings group which is generating income. This came to light when Muchinga Permanent Secretary Henry Mkungule and both Mpika and Lavushmanda district commissioners monitored CDF projects.
24 twaishira yakana 500 ero three saving after three saving 100 kwacha 20% siyo kwa Yesu rekasha sana kwa president mukayatotera kwati bana mayo bawo aba baleta chini because mu community at least
in Mpika district, a health practitioner hopes to open a hospital of his dreams after getting 200,000 kwacha CDF loan.
This has been a dream come true because financially we were struggling, and when the government through CDF provided the loan which we managed to get, at least has been a relief, and we're really pleased and happy for what the government has done.
Others have been able to venture into chicken rearing. Peggy Gutinho for Zanis in Mpika, Muchinga Province.
Still in CDF news, Luvunsa District Commissioner Richard Mavena says the increased Constituency Development Fund, CDF, is a game changer which communities should take advantage of and come up with sustainable projects which will enhance developments in their communities. More in this report by Musekiwa Ntembe.
This is Fresh Air Primary School in Mlamba Ward in Luvunsa District of Lusaka Province. This school started as a community school and was gazetted a primary school in 2018 without appropriate infrastructure. The community has put up a 1x2 classroom block to ease shortage of classroom space. School head teacher Isaac Mwale has an appeal to well-wishers.
Yes, due to the problem of accommodation at school, the community sat and decided to come up with a 1x2 classroom block, community-based initiative project, of which they sat down and agreed to contribute a certain fee so that they can buy cement and some other logistics. They did that and came up with this 1x2 classroom block. Now they are appealing to all well-wishers who can come on board and assist them in buying the roofing sheets and the pocket of cement for plaster. Our children currently, they are learning from the thatched church, which we have already seen that side. And the rain's about to come. And you cannot rely on such a type of building. So we are wishing that people can come on board and assist us.
Rufunsa District Commissioner Richard Mabena has recommended the use of constituency development funds, CDF, to improve infrastructure development in the area.
The money is lying in the CDF. The 1x3 classroom block can be done by CDF. 1x2 flats for the teachers can be done by CDF. The toilets can be done by CDF.
The Citizens Voice for Action, CVA, a community-based committee, bemoaned the poor standards at the school and called for an improvement.
Toilet yafunika yankalepo. Bana bakazi ma toilet yafunika yankalepo. So ndiye vamene tabwerera kuti tifunika tidandaule.
Msekiwa Ntembe, reporting for Zanis in Rufusa District, Lusaka Province.
In education news, Zanis staffer Frederick Mwansa, reporting from Itezi, says, following the presidential directive that no child shall sit on the floor by the end of 2023, Itezi district has risen to the occasion and has since increased school desk production. Here are the details.
Shortage of desks remains a serious challenge in most schools in Itezi. However, government is addressing the issue for the benefit of students through the Constituency Development Fund. A large-scale production of desks is currently underway in various parts of the district. The Itezi local authority gives an update.
Itezi budgeted to spend about 4 million on desks. So far as we speak, we have 1,060 desks already delivered. Yesterday we were delivering in Kasaka and Wanamwaze. We've delivered in Makunku, we've delivered in so many areas. So meaning to say, we are already moving towards a half.
The district education authorities explain the situation of desks.
As of December 2022, we have these two categories of desks. We have got the double sitters and the single sitters. Now, as of 2022 December, the double sitters we had 3,535. Then there was a shortfall of 5,865. The single sitters, as of December 2022, we had 690, and then the shortfall was 3,850.
Meanwhile, students are excited about the prospect of having desks.
I'm happy that a lot of desks are being made from Itezi. I'm sure no one will sit on the floor anymore.
Frederick Mwansa, Zanis, Itezi.
In Southern Province, stakeholders in Sayavonga district have commended government for increasing the budgetary allocation in the 2024 budget to the education sector, describing the move as a consistent commitment to enhance the learning environment in schools. Government has proposed to spend 27.4 billion kwacha on the education sector, which represents 15.4% of the local national budget, which was presented by Parliament last Friday. More in the following report.
Since the free education policy came into effect, government has been consistent with its quest to enhance the learning environment for both the learners and teachers. To further enhance the education sector, government has proposed to spend 15.5% of the total 2024 budget on the education sector, which represents 27.4 billion compared to 23.2 billion in 2023. In Siavonga district, stakeholders have shared their views on the proposed budget allocation to the education sector.
We are very, very happy with the increased budget. It simply means that we are going to receive more infrastructure. As you already know that there's free education policy where we have a lot of learners that have come back to school. We are going to have quality education in terms of the availability of teachers that will be recruited.
Chief Simamba also expressed happiness.
A lot of money, which is very, very good. It means now from there we'll be able to do a lot of activities, and a lot of children will come back to school.
Meanwhile, Siavonga District UPND chairperson describes the 2024 national budget as a game changer.
I'm calling upon youth, they should not sit down. Those who are still youthful, they must apply the skills courses. Skills courses, we are talking mechanics, carpentry, bricklaying.
And parents representative at Siavonga Primary School held government for increasing funding to the education sector.
I'm happy with the budget presentation, especially when it comes to the education sector. I'm seeing in this budget, of course, with the coming in of new teachers, this is a very welcome move to improve our teacher-pupil ratio.
Mkweng Shapande, Zanis in Siavonga District, Southern Province.
In sports news, defending champions Copper Queens will open their COSAFA Cup Championship campaign tomorrow when they take on the Mambas of Mozambique in a game that will be played at Lucas Moripe Stadium in South Africa. More in this report by Audrey Kavenga.
The Women's COSAFA Cup Championship has kicked off in South Africa, with the Copper Queens hoping to defend their title. The championship, which will run from 4th to 15th October 2023, will see the Copper Queens take on Mozambique on Thursday before they play Angola on Sunday and conclude their group stage with a match against Comoros.
Football Association of Zambia First Communications Manager Sidney Mungala is confident that the squad which coach Bruce Mwape has assembled will defend the title.
It's different. Remember, we have a number of young players that have not gotten an opportunity to play for the senior women's national team. We were at the WAFCON where we won bronze. We went to the World Cup and we played 2 friendlies against Morocco. The friendlies were played during the official FIFA window, and we used a full-strength squad. So we know that there are players that the coach is already sure about. So he's going to look at a few young players that he hopes to include in the Olympic qualifiers that are starting next month. We are playing Olympic qualifiers against Mali next month, and we also have qualifiers for the Africa Cup of Nations for women coming up in November. So when you see the coach identify young players for the COSAFA, you have to have it at the back of your mind that he's looking at the future.
Mungala highlighted the strides made in women's football development in recent years, leading to Zambia's participation at the Women's Africa Cup of Nations, the 2021 Olympics and the 2023 Women's World Cup.
So if you look at the progress in between those tournaments, we also qualified to the Olympics. So it has been a lot of work, particularly focused on growing the young teams. We have a strong under-17 team and also under-20 team for women that have been feeding into the senior women national team. So basically that's what has motivated these girls to actually, they've been around together for a long time. So we just hope that we can continue building. Even now, you know that the under-17 girls won the COSAFA tournament, which is the Regional 5 games in Malawi.
And football analyst Msonda Chibulu expressed optimism with the squad despite star players Rachel Kundananji and Barbara Banda missing in the squad.
Actually, COSAFA ought to be developmental. And I think it's a good thing for the coaches to be able to look at other players. As you might be aware, Zambia played at the World Cup for the first time, and players like Rachel Kundananji, Barbara Banda are well established alongside the other stars who've played together for a long time. Prior to the World Cup, you saw Football Association of Zambia organize a lot of friendlies. These were the same players that we are playing. I think as a nation, we need to have a contingency plan where we have a few more other players who can come to the fore, just in case those other players that we have always relied on are unavailable, particularly due to injury.
Audrey Kalenga, Zanis Sports, Lusaka.
We end Zanis news with an item on sport. Girls football is slowly but steadily gaining momentum in the country, with several girls wanting to be part of the sport. In Chitambo and Serenja district of Central Province, a 10-team league has been launched and established to help keep the girl child busy as well as realize potential talent. Details in the forum report.
The rise and success of women's football in Zambia has attracted interest from girls and young women who believe that they can contribute to the growth of the sport. Similarly, stakeholders have embraced women's football by introducing leagues specifically for women, something that was not possible a few years ago. In Central Province, the Chitambo Serenja Football League has kicked off with 10 teams taking part in the inaugural league. Fixtures are playing across Chitambo and Serenja districts, with some of the notable teams taking part in the league being Chitambo Queens and Serenja Girls Pride and Power. The two teams met on Sunday in Chitambo district, with Serenja Girls Pride and Power emerging victorious with a 1-0 score against the home side. Winning team coach Nyambe Manyango expressed happiness at the girls' performance.
Girls, they are able to play. So far, so good. They are doing well. Today they've registered their first win in the Women's League. We are looking forward to more wins, and we are just appealing to the members of the public and the community within Serenja to come on board and support the girl child.
Chitambo Queens head coach Mike Schone said the girls have potential and has an appeal to well-wishers.
We are calling upon well-wishers and business partners to come and support the girl child in Serenja and Chitambo League, so that at least we can stop the girls from rushing into early marriages. Don't want to see girls patronizing bars, involving themselves in illicit behavior, prostitution. We don't want that. That's why we have come up with the Serenja and the Chitambo League, so that at least our girls, we can keep our girls busy.
With football now decentralized, there is hope that some of the players in the league may find themselves playing in the top leagues as well as the national team. Sandra Mangamlenga reporting for Zanis in Chitambo District, Central Province.
As we end the news, a recap of our stories that made headlines. President Hichilema praises Chaz. Delegates convene in Lusaka for Digital Africa Summit. First Lady challenges parents to guide youth in sexual reproductive health. And all is set for COSAFA Women's Football Tournament in South Africa. Well, that's all we had for you from our news desk. On behalf of the entire Zanis production team, I've been your presenter, Trust Bemba. For now, it's goodbye and have a pleasant viewing.